She raised her hand without hesitation. A sharp slap echoed across the marble entrance. Gasps filled the air. The elderly gatekeeper staggered back, his eyes wide with disbelief. "What kind of useless old man blocks my way?" she shouted. What she didn't know was that the trembling man she had just humiliated was the father of the billionaire she was about to marry. And what happened next would destroy her entire world. Chapter 1. The woman who had everything. Victoria Hale believed the world owed her respect. At 26, she had beauty, money, influence, and a diamond ring worth more than most people's houses. Her fiancé, Ethan Blackwood, was a tech billionaire. Young, handsome, and powerful. Victoria didn't come from wealth. She came from ambition. She learned early that charm opened doors, and arrogance kept people beneath her. Today, she stood outside Blackwood Estate, the legendary private residence where Ethan grew up. It was her first time visiting. She expected red carpets. Instead, she found an old man in a faded uniform standing at the iron gates. Chapter 2. The Gatekeeper. The gatekeeper was in his late 70s, his back slightly bent, his hands rough from decades of work, his eyes calm but tired. "Good afternoon, miss," he said gently. "May I help you?" Victoria glanced at him with disgust. "I'm here to see Ethan Blackwood," she snapped. "Move. Now." The old man smiled politely. "I'm afraid I'll need to confirm," she scoffed. "Confirm? Do you know who I am?" "I'm his fiancé." The gatekeeper hesitated. "I haven't been informed of a visit today." That hesitation was all it took. Victoria's patience snapped. Chapter 3. The Slap. "How dare you question me?" she yelled. Before anyone could react. Slap. The sound cracked like thunder. The old man stumbled, barely keeping his balance. Silence fell. Drivers froze. Staff stopped breathing. Birds seemed to stop chirping. The gatekeeper touched his cheek, stunned. "I've worked here 40 years, he whispered. Victoria crossed her arms. "Then maybe it's time you retire." She didn't see the pain in his eyes. She didn't care. Chapter 4. Ethan arrives. A black luxury car pulled up behind her. The door opened. Ethan Blackwood stepped out. The moment he saw the scene, his face drained of color. "Dad!" Victoria turned. "What?" Ethan rushed past her, kneeling beside the old man. "Dad, are you okay?" The word hit her like a bullet. "Dad?" The gatekeeper slowly looked up. "I'm fine, son." Victoria's world tilted. That's not funny," she stammered. Ethan stood, eyes burning. "Explain," he demanded. The staff spoke first. "She struck him, sir." Victoria laughed nervously. "You didn't tell me your father was a gatekeeper?" Ethan finished coldly. Chapter 5. The Secret Life. Ethan helped his father to a bench. "My father is James Blackwood," he said firmly. "He founded this estate." Victoria frowned. "But everyone knows the Blackwoods are wealthy." Ethan nodded. "Yes. My father chose to work here after my mother died. He said it kept him humble." James spoke softly. "I wanted to know people by how they treated me, not by my name." Victoria's stomach dropped. She had failed the test. Chapter 6. Public Humiliation. Ethan turned to the gathered staff. "Did anyone here ever feel disrespected by Victoria?" Silence. Then one maid raised her hand. "She called me invisible." Another followed. "She refused to look at me." A driver swallowed hard. "She said people like us should be grateful to breathe the same air." Victoria's face turned pale. "This is ridiculous," she snapped. "They're exaggerating." James slowly stood. "No, Victoria. They're telling the truth." Chapter 7. The Engagement on the Line. Ethan removed the engagement ring from her hand. Gasps erupted. "This ring represents the woman I thought you were." Tears streamed down her face. "You can't do this." "I can," he replied calmly. "My father taught me one rule. How you treat those who can do nothing for you Shows who you really are. Chapter 8. The consequences. The news exploded online. Billionaire dumps fiancé after she slaps his father. Brands cut ties. Friends vanished. Invitations disappeared. Victoria sat alone in her apartment, scrolling through hatred. She had lost everything. Because of one moment. One slap. Chapter 9. The apology. Weeks later, Victoria stood at the same gate. No makeup. No designer clothes. Just regret. James opened the gate himself. I'm sorry, she whispered. James looked at her quietly. I forgive you, he said. But forgiveness doesn't erase truth. Ethan never came. Chapter 10. The final lesson. Years later, Ethan married a woman who once worked as a cleaner in his office. She never knew his wealth. She only knew kindness. James attended the wedding proudly. And Victoria? She learned too late that respect is free, and arrogance is the most expensive mistake of all. Ending. If the story moved you, remember, kindness costs nothing, but cruelty costs everything. Like, subscribe, and share the story.